This client acquisition process generates our team $1.5 million every single month. And if you stay to the end of this video, it can do the same for you. So if you're not familiar with me and our team here at Offer Launch, basically Offer Launch is an incubator of companies. We come in to establish operators and run their sales and marketing from end to end. I personally oversee about $400,000 every single month in ad spend, mainly on Facebook. So we have a lot of insights into what's working, what kind of funnels work best. And in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down the best one that's worked for us, where we have gotten the best results across the board. Now, we've been doing this for almost a decade now. We're very good at it. And if you simply learn from our mistakes, swipe it for yourself, it can get you those results much faster, much easier. So let's dive into this right now. So there's a couple of key steps to this process. This is very simple. Anyone with a credit card and an internet connection can make this happen. So first and foremost, we have the ads. So we are very heavy on Facebook ads. We are testing some Google ads. We've tested some TikTok, some LinkedIn in the past, but literally 99% of our budget is on Facebook ads. The main reason for that is because Facebook, in my opinion, is the easiest platform to get results on. It's not the cheapest, but in terms of a platform where you can launch ads, today and get results by tonight, it is great for that. A platform like Google, for example, a lot of times you're going to face a lot more restrictions. You're going to have to go back and forth with their team a lot more to get ads live. Longer process towards getting results. Great when it's up and running, but takes a little while to get there. But Facebook is much more beginner friendly, in my opinion. So we run Facebook ads. I personally like to run my ads very direct. So inside of an ad, there's a couple things that I like to make sure are really crystal clear. Number one, who are we selling to? So that's the first thing. Number two, how are they going to benefit? What is the benefit? I'll walk through an example of one of my ads live in a different video when I've got my computer in front of me. So make sure you hit subscribe so you can see that once it comes out. But I like to make sure in every single ad, these two things are clear. That way we get the right types of people through our funnel. They know exactly what they're getting. Also, third thing, a little bit of disqualification as well. I like to make sure that the ads make it very clear who this isn't for. We want to make sure that if someone's just not a good fit, whether that's financially, whether that's industry wide, whatever that reason is, that they are not going to click the ad, cost our company money, waste time for our salespeople. So I like to hit on all three of these things. Who are we selling to? How do they benefit? And also DQ people who are not a good fit. That's step one. Step number two, we route these to a VSL, video sales VSL. So similar to it, again, this kind of depends on the industry you're in. It depends who you're selling to. We sell to a lot of more sophisticated people, I'd say. So I prefer kind of short form VSLs, 5 minutes long, 10 minutes max. We've done a lot of the long form 20, 30-minute type of stuff for, B2C, for, less sophisticated audiences. Those can definitely work, but a lot more time, a lot more effort, and a lot of times worse results. So we like, similar to the ads, very direct VSLs. If you have experience running VSLs, if you have written them before and you've heat mapped them with a platform like Crazy Egg, for example, to see drop-offs, a lot of times you're seeing major drop-off on a VSL in those first 30 seconds. So the lead on the VSL, the first 5 seconds and first 30 seconds as a whole really needs to be on point. I put the very large majority of my time when writing a VSL into that lead, making sure those are good, because you have to factor in a lot of people are going to be dropping off after those first 30 seconds. So you want to make sure that part is really dialed. So Facebook ad to VSL. On there, on the exact same page, we're going to be putting an application below it. Okay, so application, that is basically just a questionnaire of sorts. We're going to be getting obviously the main information that's needed. What's their name? What's their phone number? What's their email? Just contact information so that our setters or our SDRs can go and outbound dial them, and we can hit them with email follow-up. But in addition to that, I like to add in a few more things, a financial qualifier. For example, how much capital do they have available? That's super key. I like to add in something related to timelines. Is this something you're looking to move forward with ASAP? Is this something you're looking to move forward with in 5 years from now? Getting clear on what the timeline is so that if they're not really a high intent lead, we can get them off the calendars. So Facebook ad, VSL, we scroll to the bottom of that page, then we're going to be putting the application there. That's very key. So from here, we go to a booking page. After the application, assuming they pass the criteria, assuming they are a qualified lead, we're going to route them to a booking page. The booking page, usually we like to keep the window on that to 48 hours max so that we maximize our show rates for the sales team. This one's pretty straightforward. We use OneSub. A lot of people like Calendly. Honestly, I don't really give a shit. I think either one can work, but get the booking page on there. Make sure there's enough availability. That's super key. You don't want to be just blowing spend into a calendar that's full. For us, we have a big sales team. We got about 30 sales guys in the office right over there. So we never really have issues related to availability. But if you're a small team, let's say you only have one salesperson and two salespeople, a lot of times if your ads are killing it, but your salespeople are stacked to the brim, availability can become an issue. So make sure there's enough space on that booking page. Now, from here, this breaks off into a couple different segments. So after someone is booked, we want to hit them in, I'd say, several different ways. So number one, email. So here we have our email autoresponders going out. I would throw SMS in there too. We like to have both email and SMS autoresponders firing, just to make sure we're ensuring show up rates. It also helps to have people a little bit more bought in before the calls with the salespeople to make sure not only are they remembering to show up, but they know who we are so that they're, more high intent when they hop on these sales calls. So we hit them with that, hit them with the email, hit them with the SMS. Next, we're going to go to the setter or SDR follow up. So within 5 minutes of them opting in to the application, oh, this is super key, by the way. A lot of times people will apply, but they won't actually book. Or people will apply and they're not a qualified application, they're a DQ'd application. The setters, they're going to be calling both of those. Main reason for that is because a lot of people lie on applications. People will say they're not qualified because they don't want to take a sales call, whatever it is. But you'll get them on the phone, you'll realize it's kind of a different case. So call all of the people in there. And B, people are distracted. People have the average attention span of about 7 seconds in 2025. So you have to account for that. If someone gets to the booking page and maybe they're driving, maybe they're in the middle of a meeting, they just forget to book. This is where you have to lean on your setters, your SDRs, to make sure that they chase these people down, they book them in, and finally they get them onto that call with the closer. So these two things, email, SMS, and setter follow-up, those are all contributing to call number one with your closers. On call number one, we prefer to do a 2-call process most of the time. So that first call, that is a lot of times more of a discovery. We're really diving into the prospect, their situation, what is going on in their life, why are they looking to make a change, what are their biggest pain points, really just to see if it's a good fit for them. So we'll usually do a call one process, which is just a full discovery. Then from there, our closers, they're going to be booking in call number two. So this leads to call number one with the closer. That is just a discovery call. Assuming that goes well, assuming they don't DQ the person, then we're going to go to call number two. And on call number two, that's really more of a closing call. That is a decision-making call to make sure that, we're able to collect cash up front in order to get the deal done, make sure we move forward. Now, there's a couple of variables in here that we have to account for. Biggest one, in my opinion, is the show rate. So your email, your setters can do a great job. But realistically, industry average right now on show rates, right around 40-50%. I'd say 30 to 50% actually. So a lot of times this call number one is going to be a no-show. So from here, we have to go back into following up. These guys have to go and chase them down, get them booked back into call number one with the closer. In addition to that, that also plays a role between call one and call two. So if someone takes call number one, maybe it doesn't go as well as they wanted, they book them in for call number two, and then they ghost on that follow-up call. Very common thing we see. A lot of people don't like taking sales calls. They don't like being sold things. So here it comes down to your follow-up game from the setters or the closers. That kind of depends on your team, how you like to run it. We do kind of a mix of both. I would say closers are doing the follow-up for this. If it's a no-show, that's really more the setters doing follow-up. And then from there, of course, you have to factor in just long gate follow-up. So let's say someone gets pitched on a $35,000 deal. they just saw you on an ad 72 hours ago. A lot of times they're not going to be ready to make a decision, but if we continue to follow up with them for, 60, 90, 120 days, eventually they will pull the trigger and they will buy. So follow up that largely comes down to the closers for them to do that. So that's really it. That's pretty much our sales call process from end to end. Honestly, it's not that complicated, but each of these pieces took us a long time to learn. But nowadays, it makes us, like I said before, about $1.5 million every single month. We're doing this across several different companies, and it's pretty proven and it works time and time again. So take this strategy, apply it to your own company. Let me know how it goes in the comments below, and definitely hit that link and subscribe now.